Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is August 13th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. As of right now, this is the state of California, and you can see these yellow lines. These mark the boundaries of National Weather Service forecast offices. Right here you have Eureka, California. This is the Bay Area, down across some of the Central Coast. Los Angeles is right here. Here's San Diego. Here is Phoenix. There's Las Vegas. You notice it does cover portions of California. That's why I show Las Vegas a lot. Reno also covers portions of the Cascades, Sierra Nevada, and Lake Tahoe. And Medford, Oregon covers portions of Northern California as well. That's why I show that one from time to time also. So now you're an expert on National Weather Service forecast offices. Let's scroll through yesterday. We did get a few thunderstorms across some of the Baja Peninsula there, and a couple storms, very northern portions of California there. And Sierra Nevada mainly stayed lightning free yesterday. And we're going to get a break for a couple days here as far as thunderstorm activity is concerned. And through the extended, we might start to bring a little bit more monsoon moisture into the region. We'll take a brief look at that here, and we'll watch that over the next few days. Take a look at Medford National Weather Service. You can see they're talking about the Boise fire. I believe there was the Hill fire out there across northern portions of California also. But otherwise, we're doing pretty good as far as smoke is concerned across much of the state. We'll take a look at that in the high resolution rapid refresh in a moment. This is Las Vegas. You can see Barstow is here. Independence 97, Bishop 100 today. And you can also see that the storms mainly, Tonopah, Las Vegas, Nevada here off to the north and east. There's St. George checking in at 30%, Cedar City 36%, Colorado City here across Northern California as well. You see Kingman right around 12%. So yeah, thunderstorm activity kind of taking a break a little bit here for the state of California. You can see you can't completely rule out a thunderstorm here, but very low chances for Amboy, Baker, and Barstow. Now, taking a look here, got the funny signal there. We'll just continue on. Let's take a look at the thunderstorm potential. You can see it is off to the east of Las Vegas today. This is for tomorrow. Again, maybe clipping Tucson there in New Mexico, but not much expected for the state of California. This is for day 3. You can see there is going to be some troughing here across Pacific Northwest, and some of that could be affecting northern portions here just off to the northeast of Redding, California. So let's take a look at the European. We're going to scroll through here, and you can kind of see this lightning activity does mimic that as we go through the next few days, potentially clipping Northern California. And as we go through Friday afternoon, you notice some of this moisture start to come back in here at the very end of the run across Arizona, perhaps into some of the desert regions. We'll be watching that one closely as well. Now, this is another way to look at that precipitable water. Put this into motion, you kind of see how we are below average here across a lot of the state, but you can see some of the monsoon moisture down here bubbling around and perhaps making a little bit of a return here across some portions as we go towards the weekend coming up. No promises just yet. Lightning flash density potential. One more look at the lightning here on the 12Z. You can clearly see that lightning activity, Utah, Arizona, and eastbound. We're not looking at anything for California except for maybe a little clip here on day 3 across. You can see a little bit of activity there as we go through Wednesday night, tomorrow night, but not much to speak of there. Most of that activity is up into Oregon. Now let's take a look at the wider view of things. You got the Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left here. There is the state of California. You can see the troughing there across the Pacific Northwest. And if we put this into motion, before we put it into motion, you can notice kind of the lack of the ridging here across a lot of the Southwest. There is some, but it's well shunted off to the south and east. So let's put that into motion here, and you can kind of see that troughing move out, but you quickly replace it again with kind of an upper level low here, which is going to be replaced with another one right off the west coast there. The ridge does start to redevelop here, but it is still displaced to the east a bit, and you can see this trough is going to hang out for a bit along the west coast of North America, slowly weakening here and allowing this ridge to get a bit stronger and start to push its way back into the southwest. But you can see the troughing not giving up without a fight as we go on in through the extended forecast here on the GFS. So the interesting cat and mouse game, probably going to have some big differences in temperatures versus central northern California and some of southern California, the desert areas, Nevada and Arizona, for example. Definitely going to be warmer with that ridge around. And as always, you can see the GFS is always very rambunctious with forming these tropical cyclones here and then sending them off to the west. But we'll watch that to see if there's going to be any development out there. It doesn't look like it has any chance to affect the southwest USA. So looking at temperature anomaly, 2-meter temperature anomaly to be exact, here's the state of California. You got Oregon, Nevada, and Arizona here. Let's put this into motion, and you can see below average 2-meter temperature anomaly. So this is the temperature at the surface below normal here as we go go on in towards the mid and even the later portion of August, you can kind of see this cat and mouse game here, this sharp cutoff between some below normal temperatures and some above normal temperatures across Southern California, Nevada, and portions of Arizona and Utah. So that is what we're going to be dealing with here as we go through the next week or so at least. And you can kind of see then the below normal temperatures start to tail off there at the end of the run, but that's way out in the forecast. If we look at the European ensemble, this is the same map here, 2-meter temperature anomaly. Let's see if it shows some similarities. And clearly, as we scroll through mid-August and towards the end, you can kind of see that troughing here, the effects of it along the west coast of North America versus warmer temperatures, again, across, the cutoff is right there across some Central California and Southern California here. So pretty good model agreement on that front. Now let's take a look at the European ensemble mean and see what it shows as far as this trough. How long is it going to hang out? Here we're scrolling through Wednesday. See the troughing there redeveloping as we go through Friday into Saturday. The ridge starts to strengthen here across some of New Mexico and Colorado here, and there's Texas. But you can see this trough again on the European, not giving up without a fight, kind of hanging out here on through the extended forecast as well. So pretty good model agreement there, but we'll see how this plays out and see if any changes occur over the next few days. No tropical cyclone formation here expected over the next 48 hours, so we're good on that front. Taking a look at the daily 2-meter max temperature here, you can see the max here for today, 116.9, no doubt for Death Valley there, but you can see the warmth across the desert areas. It's still relatively warm here, but definitely not as hot as we have been at times this summer across a lot of the valley areas. This is definitely a break from that extreme heat. Here we go for tomorrow. There's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the San Joaquin and the Sacramento Valley not expecting 100+ degree temperatures. In fact, only some 80s there for Sunday. There we go, Monday, Tuesday, a little bit of a warm-up starting to show up there. We'll see how that goes as the ridge starts to strengthen across the southwest USA through the extended forecast. Here's the 6 to 10 day. Again, Climate Prediction Center is in good agreement as well. You can see the above average temperatures versus the below average temperatures along the west coast, and mixed bag precipitation wise there. We'll worry about that on a shorter term basis. But I just want to point this out as well. This is the high resolution rapid refresh. This is hot off the presses. This is 8-meter above ground smoke density. And you can see, I believe that is the Boise fire here. There are a couple other fires. So if you're immediately downstream of some of that fire activity here, it can get still quite nasty. But you see, relatively speaking, much of the state is still doing quite well as we scroll on in through Wednesday night into towards Thursday morning there. So we have to give thanks for that. And taking a look again here, there's the Boise fire. It only shows it right now, updated 12 hours ago, about 1,000 acres. The Hill fire is much bigger, over 7,000 acres. And there's the Park fire that's 430,000 acres. That's the 4th largest fire ever in California recorded history, however. Now, looking at fire danger, this is for today. You can see some windy and dry across some of the Cascades and East Slopes there, the Sierra Nevada. And as we go through tomorrow, Wednesday, still that above, some moderate risk, we'll call it here. So, don't let your guard down. Still, fires can start. It's that time of year. And then you see we do get that troughing here that does bring some lightning activity there across Oregon, but the cutoff is right there along the California border. And there we go on into Friday, Saturday, and the weekend coming up. And this is something we'll be looking at as we go on into the fall and winter months. This 50% line there, that is about the mean. And you can see we were doing pretty decent. We started off below average here as we went on in towards the early portion, or the portion of winter. And actually, as we went through the spring here, the early portion of spring, we caught back up and we stayed above average as we went through the month of April. So pretty typical there. And then the melt off occurs, and you can see we don't have much snow up across the Sierra Nevada as of right now. But of course, as we get towards the fall and the winter months, we'll start to build this again, and hopefully we can have a nice banner year. Maybe La Nina will pay us a visit down here across the state of California, and we'll come away with some nice snowpack there. But yeah, interesting stuff there. Now this is looking at the reservoirs. So this is Shasta, for example. You can click on these individual reservoir locations: Trinity Lake, Oroville, Shasta. You can see Don Pedro down here. But we're doing pretty good because the red line is historical average, and a lot of the reservoirs are nicely full as of right now. So that's a good thing. This is something that we'll be watching too as we go through the fall and the winter months. But everything's still looking pretty good. They did a good job of storing what water that was available through the last couple of years. We've been doing pretty well on that front. And as you know, we've been doing pretty well as far as drought is concerned. But yeah, something amazing about this too, this has just become like this permanent feature of the park fire. It just looks like a huge lake. You can see Lake Tahoe here. It's like, what, 2-3 times the size of Lake Tahoe's here. So it'll be interesting to watch the vegetation regrow over the next few years here across Northern California associated with that park fire. But you know, they still have to put it out completely first. It's not fully contained just yet. But anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. If you want to monetarily support the channel, click that join button down below. Also, I'll leave the weather station link. It's the one I recommend for the price. You cannot beat it. It's got a lightning detection system with it as well. So if you want one of those, click on that link down below. Otherwise, we'll do this all again tomorrow. We'll break everything down, and I will talk to you guys then.